Coach, sometimes...
Well, hold on. Before we start, you're going to ask to talk about the magic standard and how we play. That wasn't it tonight. I'm just going to start that the right way. Portland, give them credit for how they battled and stayed in the game, but we have to be better. Very, very simple. We have to be a better style of basketball where we just don't play with the game, respect the game of basketball, and play the right way from the beginning to the end. And that's what we have to continue to do to grow and learn. We talked about learning from those 3 losses. This is a win where we're going to learn from on how we have to respect and approach every single night when we come out.
Yeah, Coach, along those lines, did it come down with the turnovers, energy level? What are some of the areas you feel didn't meet your standard?
It started, got to the free throw line like we wanted to. The energy level, our ability to just keep the ball moving and get the right shot, the ability to keep them off the glass, which we talked about. They were a big-time offensive rebounding team. They have 23 second chance points, 48 points in the paint. I think things like that we talked about who we need to be on a consistent basis. And I think that's what we've talked about with this group.
About keeping the standard the entire season. Did you think you just overlooked the opponent, or what do you think fell through where, in game 73 or whatever it is for the standard not to be met at this point? point?
I think a combination of, they played hard. They played, free. And, Chauncey's done a great job of getting them to play hard at, this point of the season with where they are. But again, I think us maybe not overlooking it, but just letting the rope go a little bit. And I think our ability to hold ourselves to a higher standard is what we have to continue to do as we move forward. But these are great games to learn from that you come away with the win, but you got to learn from it and understand who we need to be moving forward.
Coach, how do you address kind of the turnovers within this game and moving forward with just a couple games left? And how do you address just making sure that players are keeping control of the ball?
It comes down to spacing, comes down to communication, our intentionality in what we're doing, knowing that NBA guys are going to get their hands on the basketball. So you've got to be intentional. That's the fundamentals of a ball fake, being able to get to the paint and not take one more dribble and just when you see the crowd there, spray it and move it early. Those little small things are just the little aspects of the game that we'll continue to grow with and get better at.
I know tonight's win didn't maybe come in the fashion and the way you wanted it to, but tonight does mark the 100th win of your career as a head coach. As you reflect back as your time through all of the hard work as an assistant to now your third year here in Orlando, what does that just say about the work and the body that you've put in and the entire coaching staff in this core to get you to where you're at now?
I mean, our coaching staff has been fantastic. I think the work that they continue to put in on a daily basis with these guys to help them understand exactly what they're capable of doing and how good we really can be, I think it says so much. I think Mo joked a little bit about it in the locker room, like he's been a part of all of it. And I think it's so great to be with this group of guys that you continue to grow with, you continue to learn with, that you continue to get better with. I think those are so many things that sometimes we do take it for granted, and the win may not feel the right way, but it's with a group of guys that you go to bat for every single day, every single night, and me being not happy about the standard tells you how much we care about what we expect from them and how great they can be when they play and play the right way and play together.
Kind of talking about that, you guys built the 15-point lead. Seemed like you were starting to pull away, but then end the third, they get it down to 10. Mm-hmm. You guys struggled to start the fourth. How much of a drain is that, or what did you see to kind of drain that energy that you started building some momentum there in the third quarter?
Well, a couple turnovers got them some easy baskets, and that can take a little bit of the wind out of your sails. But I think our guys did a better job of trying to make sure we had to go take the game. It wasn't just they weren't going to give it to us. We had to go take the game, and our guys found a way to do it down the stretch. And this is a great learning lesson as we continue to move forward, understanding that a young team continuing to grow, continue to figure out how to win, even if it isn't always pretty, you find a way to get the win.
Obviously, you talk about doing it by committee, and your second unit has been important to your success this season, but how difficult was it to keep the starters off the court tonight?
Well, again, you give guys an opportunity to get out there, and sometimes there's a flow in the rhythm, and sometimes there's not. And I think tonight was one of those nights where there was a different type of rhythm, and I think it's by committee, good and bad. And I think we just have to continue to understand that this is a team that is going to keep pulling for each other, keep working together to get better. We'll break it down tomorrow, look at it, and understand how we can keep improving. And again, how do we get better? How are we getting to our best basketball for these last games?
Jamal, the lessons just keep piling up. You have 3 losses in a row to strong West Coast teams. There's a lesson in each game there. Big win, a relief against Memphis, and then a smack in the face today, a wake-up call. Yeah. Can you talk about these lessons that each of these guys keep learning and learning? It's like you're getting prepared for the playoffs.
No, you're exactly right. I don't think you can skip these steps. You cannot skip the steps. And I said it in pregame. You can go and show film. You can go and see what happened in the past. You can go and look at all these other things. But real-time experience gives you exactly what you need to do. Your approach to every single game, your mentality to every single game, your attention to detail in every single game, no matter if the opponent is below 500 or above 500, a playoff team, we have to approach it the exact same way every time we step on that floor for practice, for film sessions, for games. And that's what this group is learning to continue to do. But you have to go through it no matter what. Thank you, Coach Mose. Thank you, guys.
Jalen, this one might not have been up to your guys' standard the whole way through, but what did you like for your group's ability to get a stop on that final possession and leave the learning lesson with a win?
Mm-hmm. I loved it. Again, regardless of, you want to be perfect, you want to, play a great game, of course, and, but basketball is an imperfect game, and I think it's important to understand that. And we learned something tonight. We came out and, we took their punches, we answered back. I thought we stayed really good, doing a good job. Doing a good job and staying poised, withstanding their runs, and staying locked into the game, regardless of foul calls, regardless of makes or misses. We were all present. We did a good job communicating our timeouts and, figuring out what was working, what wasn't, staying to those things. And, we got to win. So, you can harp on it. We're going to go back and watch it and learn from it. And we need to be better, but we got to win.
Before he took questions, Mose actually just came out and made a statement and said you guys didn't hold the standard. You talked about the standard all season long. How do you take responsibility for, even though you did get the win, to kind of bounce back from this type of win?
Like grown men. I think that's the next step for our progress. We've gotten to get away with some things, just because we're young, and, sometimes you don't want to say what needs to be said to keep morale or confidence and all that up. But with the way we're going, where we're playing, and where we all want to get to, we have to have those conversations. He has to say stuff like that. So it's in the back of our minds. But, we'll learn from it. We'll continue to get better. We'll all go watch it. We'll talk about it, go over what we need to do, what we need to change. And, get ready for this road trip. It's a tough one.
Jalen, throughout his career, Joe's always been a guy, as a savvy vet, to, consistently talk smack, bring that kind of confidence to a team. And it seems like throughout this entire season, it's kind of gone throughout the entire locker room and you guys. Can you talk about Joe's impact specifically off the court and how much he's meant to the success of this team this season?
It's been super important, so big time. And just the way he's came in and been just a mature presence for all of us. We're at the end of the day, we're all still young men. We're all still, trying to find our way and, continue to learn and understand how to be great pros and, find our rhythm in that. And I think Joe's done a great job in helping us, helping us speed up that process. And he's talkative, he cracks jokes, so he fits along perfectly with, with everybody that we have in the locker room. But he says what needs to be said, same way with Mose. And again, he said it during one of the timeouts. But, if we don't fix this, if we don't start addressing it, it's gonna happen in the playoffs. We're gonna look back on it and, be upset when we had everything in front of us the whole time that we needed to learn from and add to the game. So he's been very important. Love having him around. Great presence, and I hope I get to spend some more time with Grandpa. That's my guy.
You guys had the tough losses last week. Obviously, getting a lesson and a win tonight. Mm-hmm. But are these kind of statements and the kind of urgency that you're feeling after a game like this? Does that make the playoffs coming up here in a couple of weeks feel a little bit more real, feel a little bit more urgent?
I ain't gonna lie, it's felt real for a while now. It's just something that we all said at the beginning of the year and something that we all believed in. And so, now that it's here, Now it's about taking care and handling business. You know, looking ourselves in the mirror and making sure that we're doing everything possible to get better, to make sure that personally and as a team, we're in the best position to succeed. And you can't control how the ball goes in and out sometimes. You know, again, like I said, basketball is an imperfect game. But you can take care of the things that you can control to put yourself in position, you know, to win every night or have a chance to win. And again, those last three, you know, were super tough, all close losses. You know, we come out, get a blowout last night or the other night, and then now we have another close one that we win. So again, just all learning moments, things that we can take as a team, get better, and we will be better.
Jalen, as you just mentioned, you've been fighting through the playoff seeding for weeks now, and it's felt real for you guys. How do you combine all of that and then take it one game at a time, and then you come in 2 weeks and you've got to do it all over again in a brand new season? How do you guys, as a team that hasn't been in that spot before, how are you guys managing juggling all of these things?
Meditate and have fun. I think those are the two important things. I think around this time of the season, everybody's tired, everyone's fatigued, everyone wants to be with family. You know, you have every excuse not to come out and go hard every night, or, you know, put it all on the line, die for a ball. But trying to understand the bigger picture of things and who you're doing it for. You're doing it for the guy next to you, for the coach on the bench, for every fan that's in the arena and supporting us. You know, that's who we want to do it for. And so I think just continuing to stay together, continuing to find joy in everything we're doing, and yeah, let out a little woosah after all we do.
Thank you, Jalen.
Appreciate y'all.
I'll be back with Franz soon.
Franz, that one might not have been up to your guys' standard, you know, the entire way through, but to be able to come up with the stop and ensure that the lessons come in a win, just how big was that to close the game out?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you want to win the game, so it's great that we did that. But, yeah, like you said, I think a lot of things that we can improve on, and that's what we got to do on this road trip.
You know, Mose came in here a few minutes ago, and before he took any questions, he made a statement and just made it clear that, you know, you guys didn't hold up to your own standards. So how do you return from a win where it's kind of like this, where you don't hold that standard?
I think similar to just we want to get better at this point of the season, and obviously we're playing for a good playoff position. So win is first priority, but, you know, right after that comes playing up to our standard. And whether we win or not, I think everybody, you know, when they go home, probably thinking about the stuff that they can do better and what we can do better collectively, and just learn from it. I mean, it's cool that it came in a win, and yeah, but at the same time, this game's over with, and learn from it and go to the next one.
Franz, I believe you guys gave Mose the game ball in honor of his 100th win. You know, how special was it to be able to do that for him, and how much has he meant to you guys?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Moses is an awesome coach. Everybody on his team loves playing for him, and you know, obviously he's the driving force and kind of the vibe and the culture that we have in the building. And yeah, I think I speak for the whole team when I say that you know, everybody likes coming to work and likes to play together and stuff like that. And like I said, Moses the driving force in that. So really happy that he's my coach.
Franz, I just asked Jalen a few minutes ago about the impact that Joe Ingles has had on the team this season. Can you talk about what he's meant to you guys in that locker room and just his veteran leadership that he's brought this season?
Yeah, obviously leadership, you know, sometimes speaking up and holding guys accountable too. And, you know, then I think in that second unit, being a ball handler and, you know, making sure that we play the right way. Our second unit's been really good all year, so I think Joe's been a huge part in that.
Kind of talking about kind of upholding the standard here. What's the urgency like, knowing that the playoffs are coming up and that every game has some impact on where you might end up and preparing for the postseason?
Yeah, the urgency should be at an all-time high. Like I said, the standings are not set. We still got opportunities to move up in the standings, so yeah, we should be locked in, and honestly shouldn't be asked to be locked in by anybody. We should come in ready to work, and I'm sure we'll do that on the road trip.
Can you maybe explain or put your finger on what was off about tonight then?
I think we didn't move the ball as well, especially in the second half. And then whenever you don't get shots, first of all, I thought Portland played really hard and they were competing all night, even when we got the lead late. Yeah, and then I think, like I said, when you don't really get great shots all game, the other team gets into a rhythm, gets in easy ones, and that's when it gets difficult. So I think offensively we didn't play our best game today.
Franz, night in, night out, you guys have been competing for home court advantage, and you are doing this as a team that hasn't really been to this territory yet, and you're also trying to take it one game at a time and keep going with the process and keep getting better. And then after the season ends, you have to go do it all over again in a brand new season. How do you juggle all that as a first-time playoff participant?
Honestly, I just try to enjoy being in this with these guys that we've been, we've been basically together for a bunch of years now, and we played seasons where we lost most of our games. So I think it's a cool situation to be in this, everybody for the first time together, and kind of learn how to do it together. And yeah, obviously it gets a lot when you think about the coming year. So I try not to do that too much.
Thank you, Franz.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.